Okay, welcome. This is going to be a reaction video to round 2 on Radio 630 Teleradio, where I was invited again to talk with Alvin El Chico and Doris Bigornia on the ongoing cyber attacks. And this time there are more agencies involved. So yeah, let's get to it.
Mamaya po alamin natin kung may rollback ba o tuluyan nang tumaas ang presyo dahil sa kaguluhan dyan sa Israel. Mamaya po yan. In the meantime, si Dominic Vincent Ligot, partner, binabalik natin ang founder ng Data Ethics PH. Kaugnay sa report, di ba naalala mo, partner, kahapon, sabi niya, may 2 government agency pa
Meron pa. Oo, meron.
na inatake din ng mga cyber terrorists.
Tama.
Nakita ko, na social media nakita ko ang pinangalanan PNP.
Ano pa?
At
PNP!
saka ano ba yung isa?
Oo.
Nalimutan ko na yung isa. DOST ba yun? Dominic,
Wow.
magandang umaga sa iyo, Dominic.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Happy Friday the 13th.
Wala, ayaw na namin mag-ganyan-ganyan, Dominic, kasi dinidedma mo kami kahapon. Huwag na tayong mag-joke-joke.
Wala nang banter-banter.
Of course, this is so much better, right? We're going to talk serious cybersecurity while 2 out of the 3 people are dressed in disco outfits. It is what it is.
Diretso na tayo sa usapan natin.
Kasi may pinost yan sa social media, partner. Maraming mali naman yung pagkakaintindi ng iba na bakit sila ganun. Kasi we parang pinuna natin yung kanyang headphone.
Pero
Mali,
okay.
mali kasi Alvin Hindi naman cheeseburger yan, siopaw yan, puti kasi yan Dapat
hayaan na po natin yan. Punta tayo sa topic natin.
Hindi ko magat.
Ayoko na yan. Ayoko ma-misinterpret. Punta tayo sa topic natin. Totoo ba, nabalitaan mo rin tungkol dito sa DOST at saka PNP?
Yeah, tama-tama nga. Right after nung interview natin, I think mga 10 o'clock, may naglabas na ng report. Yung PNP Forensics, may PNP Forensics data na lumabas. At yung sa DOST, mayroong platform na tinatawag na oneexpert.gov na para siyang directory ng mga science and technology researchers natin. Lumabas din yung data nun. Basically, yung laman nung portal na personal information ng mga science and technology researchers natin. And hindi ko pa alam exactly how many yung nailabas, pero may confirmation na ako na yun yung kasama siya dun sa PSA leak na lumabas.
So, confirm na yun, as far as you are concerned, kumpirmado yung sa DOST at saka sa PNP?
Yep. So at least dun naka-attribute. Pero hindi pa, pagkakaalam ko, hindi pa sumasagot yung mga agencies. Yung mga nag-investigate, finorward na nila dun sa mga ahensya. Yun yung inaantay ko sana kahapon mag-usap tayo.
Actually, may nakita ako, Dominic, na parang statement ng ano bang agency yun, na sabi niya, hindi totoo yan, walang confirmation yan.
Bakit?
Something like that May nabasa akong ganyan
Dininay.
Dininay.
I think baka yung National Privacy Commission.
Ayun,
May
National
lumabas
Privacy
sila.
Commission.
Oo, kasi maybe as of that time, na may panayam kayo sa kanila, wala pang independent na nagtatanong. Pero as far as I know, meron na rin nagpadala sa kanila as of yesterday, either nung data or nung mga agencies concerned, pero hindi pa rin sila nagre-reply. Maybe.
You know what I think is they actually have received those data sets, but they can't officially confirm it yet because maybe they don't trust the source or whatnot. And that's always a risk whenever you're doing these kinds of disclosures. Like, for example, yesterday's disclosure about the 2 agencies. I couldn't say it until an independent vetted entity actually made that declaration. So people who were... so in this case, the News Bites article that talked about the 3 leaks together. But actually, as early as October 9, those 3 agencies were already named by presumably the threat actor, this Not Medusa, second group that started posting these links. They already named the 3 agencies. But again, it was the PSA that got the most attention.
They're doing it now.
Oo. Dominic, ako hindi ako masyado techy, so hindi ko maintindihan. Ano ngayon, kung makuha nila yung mga data na yan, ano ang implikasyon, ano ang epekto sa ating lahat ng mga hacking na yan, mga cybercrime na yan?
Ang parang pinag-usapan natin kahapon, I think palagi na either hindi naman nagkakamali, pero parang ang iniisip lang ng either ng public or ng government, kunyari yung CBMS ng PSA, hindi naman magagamit yan, research data lang naman yan. Pero ang pinaka-importanting data kasi na ilalabas din is mismong yung mga username, password, minsan telephone number nung either nung gumagamit ng platform or baka may database sila na either yung mga mismong users ng either users ng platform or mga respondents, kunyari you're getting surveys. And I think yung pinaka-iniingatan natin diyan, tawag diyan PII, personally identifiable information, is magagamit yan ng ibang tao to basically steal your identity. Tinatawag nilang identity theft.
So, I find it a common blind spot talaga. Like for example, the PSA's disclosure that it's just a community-based monitoring system, the CBMS, that's at risk, that's a low risk. With the civil registry was not touched. Same banana with PhilHealth. They said the membership database is intact. So they're really focused on the subject matter of the data set, forgetting that part of the leak was also the credentials, the logins of the people, which also contain personally identifiable information and even their passwords and occasionally birthdays and cell phone numbers. That's part of the registration, diba, of any major portal. That was leaked too. Actually, arguably, that's the more valuable data set because that's probably going to be the target for identity theft. So it's a weird kind of this. It seems like people put too much value on the wrong thing and not enough value on the most essential issue data, which is the personally identifiable, the PII data.
Parang yung kwento natin kahapon is pinaka-sensitive dyan, cellphone number and email combination. Tapos kung may IDs pa, katulad nung sa PSA, although ang huling sambit na attorneys, CBMS, pero meron ding lumabas na images from yung mga nag-post na may mga IDs na lumabas, and I don't know kung kasama sa CBMS yun or hindi. Delikado yon kasi pwede nga nilang nakawin yung identity mo, pwedeng magpa-replace sila ng SIM card, and then tuloy-tuloy na yan once nakuha na nila yung mga detalye na yan. Lahat na ng accounts mo pwede ma-compromise.
Pero yung tanong ni Doris kasi, what is the implication? Kanina na-interview namin si Senator Gatchalian, nababahala siya na it says, may sinasabi ito, kaya nangyayari ito para itong prelude to a more serious and damaging attack. Perhaps ang susunod, vital infrastructure na, NAIA, NGCP, alam mo yun, partner, yung mga naval bases, Meralco, yung mga vital,
water and electricity natin.
What do you think, Dominic?
Siyempre, mapupunta dun yung speculation ng tao. Pero siguro, balansin din natin. Ang at risk talaga is any agency na merong platform na exposed to the internet.
You see the same misassessment of risk. So we go from literally Doris saying, I don't know why that PII is important, to Alvin talking about these galactic conspiracy scenarios. No, this is a common cognitive bias siguro. It's easier for us to be afraid of these big conspiracy issues, and I'm not saying the attacks on critical infrastructure can't happen. I would be worried if these critical infrastructure could be accessed from the internet. That's really the real vector. Can these portals be accessed from the internet? So we put a lot of value on those parang geopolitical scenarios. Is there I don't know, by the way. I don't know yet if there is are these state-sponsored hackers or whatnot? I don't know that yet. But we put no value on the fact that users' PII has been hacked and exposed to the public, and that there are probably a number of these government portals exposed to the internet, and they all have vulnerabilities. It's weird, and I'm pointing this out again and again because I think we need to get over this.
Yung something in common dito sa mga agencies na tinamaan. Either meron yung oneexpert.gov.ph yata, you can access it from the internet. It's really meant for science and technology researchers to come in, register your name, and maybe itatrack niyo yung projects mo, something like that. Yung sa PNP Forensics, sinusuri pa, pero mukhang may mga applications din yung PNP and some of these other agencies. PhilHealth, meron din silang web portal. Anytime meron kang application na pwede ma-access sa internet, susubukan ng mga hackers yung pasukin. And then yung may isa pang angle na ito part of the study pa is potentially nagkaroon din ng vulnerability from the employees themselves. Di ba may lumalabas nga na tanong baka inside job, that's always a possibility. Pero sa aming pagsusuri, usually hindi naman yan inside job. Meron lang nag-click ng maling URL or attachment. Kasi the moment may maklik ka na di ka nais-nais na ginawa yan ng hacker, makakapasok na sila sa system mo, lalo na kung nakakonect siya sa internet.
Okay. And one last, Dominic, anong advice mo sa gobyerno? Yaman din lang na nangyayari ito. Kaya pa namang agapan, di ba? We can still do something about it para ma-fortify yung ating cybersecurity.
Yeah, kahapon medyo napansin nyo, medyo galit ako dahil dun sa procurement na issue ng PSA. Hindi ko naman sila sinisingle out. Pero if you reflect on that point,
Rata, the procurement issue was with PhilHealth, not PSA, but I'm sure they're going to point that out.
ang procurement, they go by plan di ba? If you have a budget, sa budget siya, pasok siya, may bidding, di ayos. So that for me to hear a news na hindi lumusot sa procurement could be many things. Baka hindi na budget o hindi na plano. And then pag iisipin mo ng maigi, bakit hindi mo binudget? So it just tells me that there's a flaw in the planning process perhaps na kailangan ayusin. And maybe on the surface, hindi naman mukhang delikado. Okay, nagkamali tayo sa budget, hindi natin nasama. Pero ang implication ngayon is ang napipinsala taong bayan kasi data nila nalileak. Yun lang, no? Para on both fronts, kaya siyang agapan Education ng mga employees, huwag lang tayong click ng kung ano-ano. And then second, yung ba't hindi natin binabudget ang cybersecurity na hindi lang yan software, tao rin yan. Meron ba kayong cybersecurity officer? And then finally, baka kailangan na talagang i-audit kahit anong platform or portal na merong connection to the internet. Lahat yan entry point ng mga hacker.
Okay, maraming salamat, Dominic.
Maraming salamat.
Vincent Ligot.
Yep, that was it. And I think, well, obviously this interview had a more measured tone, notwithstanding the disco outfits. But again, I'll take what I can to any chance to inform and evangelize the public on better cyber hygiene. Actually, this isn't even what I normally want to talk about. I'd rather talk about artificial intelligence. But as I mentioned in another post, if we don't fix cybersecurity, cyber will destroy us long before the threat of AI comes. And I think that's the bottom line. And we don't want to get also into the era where the cyber actors are actually using AI already to exploit our platforms. All of these hacks seem to be very straightforward penetration being done with pretty mainstream cyber methods, cyber attacks. I actually posted an article on like the top 10 vulnerabilities that people are probably going to get exposed to. The awareness just isn't there, and the more we have, and hopefully we can talk about this even if there's no major cyber attack. I guess I'm just quote unquote lucky that there were recent attacks and they are major attacks, and now I'm being given the light of day to talk about it. But imagine if everything was going well, we won't have a chance to talk about this. So the lesson is, why do we always have to wait for a crisis? We do earthquake drills, we do fire drills, we do flood drills. We don't do cyber drills. Yeah, it's just a big gap in our culture. But anyway, that was it. Reaction video to the sequel to Radio 630 Teleradio. Maybe there'll be a round 3. Maybe if there's another hack. But hopefully you picked up a lot of useful insights here. And yeah, hope to see you again in another reaction video.